then instead of SOP, we'll call it as a uh, solution design document. So it will be a document for a reference to their end users or the stakeholders, even post implementation also in future. If they want to refer back, if they have any doubts with regards to the process, they can use these documents as well. So this solution design document, we will have a step by step process, how to navigate, what are the, it is simple like our notes. For example, if whenever you're preparing, right, you will prepare a notes, right, in the same way you will have to make it in a in depth. So even these solution design documents also will be sent for review to the customer, and then customer will come back to us stating that whether with their pain points, if they have anything to highlight or if they want to do any modifications, anything. So post once these a solution design documents is approved, then we'll go for the testing. See, sometimes what happens, this testing and then implementation will happen simultaneously. Like for example, in a team there are 10 consultants. They will divide all the functional consultants into two different teams. One is for implementation and is for testing. So testing, there are various types of testing process are followed by
శ్రీనివాస్,
these companies. Huh.
నాకు మధ్యలో ఏమి వినిపించలేదు. నా సిస్టమ్ మళ్ళీ రీస్టార్ట్ చేశాను నేను. అది ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఏదో చెప్తా ఉన్నావు, ఎఫ్ఆర్డి, దాని తర్వాత నేను మిస్ అయ్యాను.
Okay, okay, no, rejoin, sir.
జాయిన్ అయ్యాను, నీ స్క్రీన్ కనిపించలేదు.
వేరే వాళ్ళ కనబడుతుందా స్క్రీన్?
కనిపిస్తుంది.
అందరికీ కనబడుతుందా?
ఆ,
మరి రితేష్ నువ్వే ఒకసారి రీజాయిన్ గా అంతే.
అయ్యాను, రీజాయిన్ అయ్యాను ఇప్పుడే. మళ్ళీ
చూడు ఒకసారి మొబైల్లో, సిస్టంలో రెండు చోట్ల జాయిన్ అవ్వు, కనబడుతుంది. So as I mentioned, we'll call it as an SDD here. In general, we'll call it as an SDD. But before this FRD and SDD, we will have one more that is called FDD. This is functional design document. In FRD, we'll just make a list of the requirements, but in SDD, for whatever, let's say if you are sure about that the solution is available in D365, we'll update each and every feature step by step with the navigation, everything. But in these requirements, as I mentioned, let's say there are 100 requirements, and if you feel that 10-15 requirements you do not have a solution, or you are not you will still need to have an analysis, or let's say you got partial solution, but you cannot deliver this partial solution to the customer, right? It will not serve the purpose of their requirement. So all such partial solutions, or if there is a still discussion is going on, you will update it is in the functional design document. So once these functional design even this also discussion will happen with the customer. We'll tell that yes, this is a solution for the timing, as per our research. This is solution we have got, but based on their inputs, you will consider. See, while doing this functional design document, FRD, SDD, we will also have one more discussion that is called fit gap analysis. Ritesh, you can go on mute. Yeah. So this fit gap analysis discussion, right? It will help you to see the name itself. It says fit and gap. Let us say in these 100 requirements, we have 60 requirements for which we have a solution, and for 40 requirements, we are not sure whether the solution is available or not. For that purpose, initially we will update those as a gap. Later during the discussions, these gaps also might convert into fit, depending on our research and depending on the solution that is available, whether it is doable or not. All these things will happen during the fit gap analysis discussion. We'll have to prepare an Excel sheet, As I mentioned in accounts payable, for each and every requirement, this is not the solution here. In the fit gap analysis discussion, see even this discussion will keep happening throughout the project. It is not a step by step. Because on daily basis your team will be doing the research, right? Maybe today you didn't find the solution, tomorrow you will find the solution. So for that purpose, this fit gap analysis discussion will keep on happening regularly, till you finalize, yes, this feature is no longer available in Dynamics 365. It is not even customizable. That means then you will consider it as a gap. Let us say in SAP, they have shown you one particular report, and even in D365 also, they are expecting the same report to be generated on weekly basis or monthly basis or any reason it may be. And you tried exploring all the features and got to know that this report is not available in Dynamics 365. You will update that particular report as a gap, and also you will inform the customer this is not available. You will have to, there's no solution also for this one, so we'll update it as a gap itself. So then we'll have to see any other alternate through third party or anywhere, that is that later customer and they will decide. So these are very important. As I mentioned, kickoff meetings will happen, and then FRD, our senior team, or as a functional consultant, we will be preparing all these functional requirement documents, FDD, and then SDD. Fit gap analysis also, this will happen in the meanwhile itself, during this FRDs, FDDs, SDDs itself. Even this discussion also will happen. There's no such rule that it has to be first or second. It's not like that, because it is an analysis, right? On daily basis, on different because uh, functional consultants from finance and operations, supply chain management, they will also be a part of all these discussions. And let us say in this fit gap analysis discussion, if in case there is a solution, but that is not available in Dynamics 365, but that is doable, we'll call it as a customized one. Here technical consultants also will be a part of our project, right? uh, Technical consultants will come and tell that yes, this is possible. If you do this particular, I mean, they will develop from backend whatever that is required from the customer. We will test it, if it is working or not, and then we'll go to that customer stating that yes, this is working. And testing is nothing but, it is also similar to solution design document only, but here in solution design document we'll give the screenshots, everything, right? As I mentioned, step by step procedure. But in testing, uh, for example, if you want to create a vendor, what are the steps involved in vendor creation? You will it will be very detailed. For example, step 1, even this will be updated in the Excel sheet itself. Step 1 will update as a, like it will be very in detailed, step by step, so that it will be help them to understand. Because this test, again, under accounts payable, we'll click on all vendors, right? All vendors. Again, next step. So, did you understand why, like, we have to mention each and everything? What is the navigation? What is the output of each and every step? So it will be because it might be tiresome job to note down the each and every step. But the reason why they have why they need in-depth information is required means there are different types of tools are used sometimes. For example, uh, each and every test, let's say in all the modules, say they have some 500 or 1000 test cases for each and every requirement. If you update this step by step, whatever the format they are suggested, if you update this step by step, all these excel sheets or whatever the test cases that you have prepared, right, we will call this as a test cases. So for each and every requirement, we'll prepare a test case, right? So once you prepare these test cases, for example, there are a lot of tools, like yeah, RSAT is there, and then Zira is there, DevOps testing tools also. Let me just update here. See, you have to understand all this terminology. The reason being, during interview, they might ask you, what are the testing tools you have used in your previous project. If you understood, like you see, there is this DevOps is a Microsoft tool where they will upload all these test cases, whatever we have prepared, right, in the Excel sheets. Either they will upload all these things, or else within their software itself, you will have to write step by step. So if you write these all these steps, software itself it will test in D365. It will follow, it will read all these instructions that you are given in all these steps, right? It will perform the testing and it will give you the output, stating that as per the instructions or as per the steps given for this particular requirement. So it will update it as a pass or fail. Let's say in Excel sheet you have updated all the test cases, right? 100 test cases. We will update the result as a, like, we'll be doing the multiple testings, like one time, one, two, three, like that. So in each and every test, if you see all the three testing, I mean, depending on the requirement, at times what happens in during the first testing it might fail, in the second testing also it might fail, and you will come up with in your research where went, I mean, what are the steps you have followed, if there is any change that you want to do, and then in the final testing it will pass. But see, these tools depends on the project to project. It is not necessary that every customer should have a testing tools. For example, few customers, they do not have any bandwidth to use any of these testing tools. So what they does is they will just update all these steps in an Excel sheet, and they will do it in a manually. Even if it takes time also, they will do it manually. They will we as a functional consultant only will have to do all these things, testings. uh, we'll prepare the test cases, we'll explain to the customer, see, we have prepared all the test cases for each and every requirement, and they will do check the testing from their end, and we'll also do this testing from our end. But for you should understand this terminology, there are a lot of testing tools, but these two are famous, like DevOps is there, RSAT is there. RSAT is like regression suite, uh, aggression tool or something, it should be there. In short form, we'll call it as an RSAT. So once this testing is done, we'll go for the production environment. And these testing, I see, during these test cases and while doing this SDD, FDD, all these things, right? We will be having a multiple environments here. That is UAT or sandbox production. See, we'll be having a different types of environments. Environment is nothing but the instance, like whatever the web version we are using, right? See, directly they cannot go or they cannot dump all this here, information to the production environment, right? So before getting into production, we'll be checking in the UAT or sandbox, or sometimes we'll call it as a dev also. See, all these things would remain same, like UAT, sandbox, or dev. All these are testing environments. Will all these will call it as a testing environment. Whatever the practice you are doing, right, in the same way, you'll check each and every configuration. You'll go to the sandbox environment. You will prepare the test case, this vendor creation, and if you feel yes, this is working in the sandbox environment, then you will prepare a report. Yes, the future is working in the sandbox. So once you are done with all this testing, right, then finally we'll go to the production environment. See, pro- production environment is nothing but as an end. I think someone went on unmute.
శ్రీనివాస్,
Huh.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎన్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఏదైతే చెప్పావో, సో
Hmm.
టెస్టింగ్ అనేది 4 ఎన్వైర్మెంట్లు చేయాలా, లేదంటే ఒక్క ఎన్వైర్మెంట్లో చేసినా సరిపోతుందా?
ఏదైనా ఒకటే అంతే.
ఏదైనా ఒకటి చేస్తే
See,
సరిపోతుందా?
that all depends on the customer requirement. See, few of them they will have the sandbox and UAT both, or we'll even call it as an SIT also. All these are different only. You see, the interface will remain same. Name we'll call it as an UAT or sandbox, dev, SIT. Again, in depth, if you go, you see, during the project you will understand. But the purpose of all these UAT, sandbox, dev, SIT, all these four would remain same. You'll have to test the exact difference. What is the purpose of, what is the difference between UAT, sandbox, dev, SIT? All these things you slowly will understand once you get into any of these implementation project, right? You will understand. But main purpose of all these environments is to test. It is like a practice environment only, because for example, already you were working in SAP process, right, in accounts payable. Whatever you are doing as an end user, that end user environment will call it as a production environment. So once we are sure, yes, we are ready to go live, then we'll go for the production environment. Here what happens, whatever the test cases you did in all these four environments, it will be dumped to the production environment, either through manually or through automation, or again there are multiple ways to com- complete this production environment. So once this production environment is done, as an end users they will start working on the, for example, from Reliance, there will be an accounts team, right, who are already using SAP. Now the end users, like account junior accountants will be there, right, for each and every department. They will start using the production environment. So once this production environment is go live, then there will be a post implementation support. The post go live support is nothing but, once they are into production environment, right, they will be having a lot of queries as well. If you remember, even while as an end user, you might be raising a support request, right? So during this support request, you will send, for example, and as an end user, he's trying to create a vendor, but he's getting an error stating that he is unable to do, or he doesn't have access, or he's not authorized to do, create the vendor, or any reason it may be, or application error, or functionality technical, for any reason it may be, because if that is hampering their production environment, they'll raise a support ticket. So we as a see, as a functional consultant, you can get into any of the project, that is implementation or testing, or support project. See, the support project is nothing but this implementation, testing, all these things they might have done already. Their end users also started using. You will just have to give them the solution. For example, they are trying to, any of the end user is trying to create a fixed asset. He is not able to do that fixed asset. Or for example, if there are approvals, if you want to approve any journal entry, or if you want to pull any report, let's say depreciation report they're trying to pull, he's unable to pull that report, it is throwing some error, they will drop you an email. See, again, for support also, there are a lot of tools. Some few customers, they will have a tie-up and they'll just drop an email to consultant stating that, see, our end users are not able to do this activity in accounts payable or this one fixed assets or anywhere it may be, and then you will have to go with the you will have to give the solution to the customer. So this is called as a support project. So here we'll be getting a tickets here. These tickets will be assigned to us. Post go live support is, as mentioned, once this production environment is done, they'll start shooting us questions, right? Whenever they have the issues. So for all those things, we'll have to keep on giving the solutions. It's like that. So this is an overview about the implementation, testing, and support, and the job roles that you can expect as a functional consultant. Our role will be revolved, it will be around all these topics only. Apart from this, there won't be anything, but all these things will be related in each and every module. You have to do the implementation and testing, and then support. It all depends on the project that you are sent. So I have, before also I have explained the reason being why I'm explaining all these things, because I'll be sharing the few documents, right? Like, FRD, FBD, SDD, and then while doing the configuration, right? You should understand we are not an end users, we are a consultants here. We'll be demonstrating, and you should know each and every feature that is available in Dynamics 365. You might for any reason, either in support or testing or implementation also, customer can come up with any question, because they might be using already SAP or Coupa or Oracle, any software it may be. You should be ready to tell, yes, this function is available or not. Okay, so do you have any doubts here in implementation, testing, and then support projects?
ఒకసారి సెకండ్ థర్డ్ ఫోర్త్ పాయింట్ చెప్పవా?
FRD, FDD, hello?
అది సెకండ్ థర్డ్ ఫోర్త్.
You see, FRD is nothing but once kickoff meetings are done, right? So we will discuss with the customer, we'll list on their requirements, we'll make a note of all the so we'll note down all the requirements from the customer in accounts payable. Let's say like 100 requirements, right? And the next, once this discussion is done, we will update it as in whether the solution is available or not. If the solution is available, then we'll prepare a solution design document. Solution design document is nothing but preparing the solutions. So this in SDD, we'll prepare a solutions for each and every, like vendor creation, as I mentioned. You'll have to prepare a step by step with every screenshot. It will be like a SOP. And then if there is no solution, if you are not able to find out the solution, or if further analysis is required, then all those details will be updated in the functional design document. In FTD, let's say, if you're unable to find the solution that is not available in Dynamics 365, whatever the steps or whatever the discussion that happened till date for that particular requirement, you will update in the functional design document. Yeah. So did you understand? Still, any of you have any doubts, like in FRD, FDD, SDD?
బ్రో ఒక డౌట్ ఉంది.
Ah,
ఎఫ్డిడి దగ్గర సొల్యూషన్ లేదు బ్రో, దాని తర్వాత స్టాప్ చేస్తారా? దాని మీదే వర్క్ చేస్తారా
డిస్కషన్
లేకపోతే
జరుగుతూనే ఉంటది. ఇంక డిస్కషన్స్ అనేవి ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్‌లో పడ్డాక రెగ్యులర్‌గా జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి. చెప్పాను గదా! ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నీకు ఈరోజు సొల్యూషన్ రాలేదు. వెతుకుతూ ఉంటావు. ఏదో ఒకటి అక్కడ రిసర్చ్ చేస్తావు. డైనమిక్స్‌లో అక్కడ ఇక్కడ వెతుకుతాము. లేదు అనుకో అప్పుడు అది గ్యాప్‌గా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాం అంతే. అందుకే గదా! ఇది గూడా ఉంది గదా! ఫిట్ గ్యాప్ అనాలిసిస్ డిస్కషన్ గూడా ప్యారలెల్‌గా జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి.
ఓకే.
ఈ
ఓకే.
ఫిట్ గ్యాప్ అనేది గూడా మనం ఒక రిపోర్ట్ ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలి కంప్లీట్‌గా ఎక్సెల్ షీట్‌లో. అన్ని మాడ్యూల్స్‌లో జీఎల్, ఏపీ, ఏఆర్, ఫిక్స్డ్ అసెట్స్, బడ్జెటింగ్, టాక్సేషన్ అన్ని దాంట్లోనూ మనము ఫిట్ గ్యాప్ అనాలిసిస్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఒకటి ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలి. సో, ఈ డిస్కషన్స్ అన్నీ రెగ్యులర్‌గా ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ అయిపోయేంత వరకు జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ లాస్ట్‌లో గూడా వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ చెప్పొచ్చు. ఎఫ్ఆర్‌డీలో ఇంకో రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏదో వచ్చింది అని. సో, మళ్ళీ అది డిపెండింగ్ అంటే ఫేజ్ బై ఫేజ్ మళ్ళీ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్‌కి ఒక 50 లీగల్ ఎంటిటీస్ ఉన్నాయనుకో. దే కెన్ డివైడ్ ఆల్ దీస్ 50 లీగల్ ఎంటిటీస్ ఇంటూ 4 ఫేజెస్. లైక్ ఫేజ్ 1, ఫేజ్ 2, ఫేజ్ 3, phase 4. In phase 1, they'll go with the 10 legal entities, and phase 2, 10 legal entities. It's like that. సో, ఆ కంపెనీ యొక్క లీగల్ ఎంటిటీస్‌ని బట్టి ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎంత పెద్దది, ఎంత చిన్నది అనే దాని మీద డిపెండ్. సో, ఇట్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద సైజ్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్. యాహ్! సో, డూ యూ హావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్స్?
శ్రీనివాస్, జనరల్‌గా కిక్ ఆఫ్ మీటింగ్స్‌లో మనము కంపారిటివ్ అనాలిసిస్ గాని చేస్తాము. అంటే వాళ్ళ
ఏ టు
లెగసీ
జెడ్ ఏం జరగాలో
అంటే
ఒక
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ
బిజినెస్
లెగసీ
పరంగా
ఇదంతా తీసుకొని
హ్మ్.
మనము ఇప్పుడు మన ప్రోడక్ట్ తీసుకొని 2 కంపేర్ చేసి చెప్తాము. అంటే ఈ బెనిఫిట్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఈ బెనిఫిట్స్ ఉంటాయి. అట్లనా?
అదే
లేకపోతే
ఇనీషియల్‌గా అన్నీ ఎక్స్‌ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ మైగ్రేట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎస్ఏపీ టు డైనామిక్స్ 365, these are the add-on advantages that you'll be getting. For example, if customer is using 5 to 6 softwares for pulling for accounts payable, he is using some, let's say he's
ఓకే.
using Coupa, and for material management he is using SAP, and Oracle for some other reason to pull report or anything. If you will have to demonstrate all these things in the kickoff meetings. See, you are not so it is not necessary that you have to use all these three softwares. All the features that you are looking for in all these three softwares are available in Dynamics 365. So you can switch it. See, it's like a sales, we can tell. I mean, will be
యాహ్! యాహ్!
even
సేల్స్.
though kind of sales, but you should have a grip on each and every subject on every module, right? They will come up with a lot of
That is,
questions.
I mean, that is also done by a functional consultant or higher level manager or somebody like that.
You will be a part of all those meetings
Okay.
because you will have to prepare all the you will
And
be listening to all those discussions, right? What exactly the
and
customer
another
is
thing,
looking.
okay, got it. And another thing, if you said that if there's anything which we cannot, I mean, provide them, it will be going under gap, right?
Hmm.
Gap. Then what level of customization we can do? If there are any gaps,
that
do we?
uh, that all depends on the technical team, because we don't, for example, while create for example, let us take this vendor creation as an example.
Hmm.
You remember, right? How to create a vendor, there are a lot of fields are available. Even
Hmm.
apart from these, let us say customer is as requested us to add one more field for
Hmm.
any reason. Let us say nickname or short name, anything it may be that which is not
Okay.
available. We don't know whether that is doable or not. Then
Hmm.
technical team will get into the discussion. They will do the research, whatever that is required. If that is possible, then they'll tell the customer, see, this can be done. Then we'll consider that as a customized, and we as a
Okay.
functional consultant will give the inputs to the technical team. See, customer is looking for this one and this is the output he's expecting. If they are able to do, then we'll also do the testing. If that is working, then we'll give that, we'll tell the customer, is this considered as a gap? But I mean, we'll not consider this as a gap, it is customized.
Okay.
That- okay. So still any of you have any doubts or anything?
No, again, if you after going live, I mean,
Mm.
not going live, after checking in the production, if we find any deviation, again the whole process starts from SOP, right? STD, right? Again, we need to
Same.
change the STD.
Again, they will go to the consultants. They will see where went wrong, what is the thing, everything.
Yeah, from the beginning it will go. Or I mean, STD
That
also
depends
need
on
to
the
be changed.
severity level of that particular issue.
Okay.
Depending on the severity level or impact of that particular requirement, uh, if it is not letting them to do any activity for the entire module itself, then again they'll just do the they'll come back to us. We'll have to do what where went wrong, everything. That's the reason, right? We have multiple testing environments, like will be again customer also will also test, we'll also train them. We'll have to conduct the workshops also.
Okay.
Once this production before getting into production, right? We'll be conducting the webinars to all the end users of that particular project. If you're working for a Reliance will be having an accountants team, right? As a functional consultant, you will have to take a conduct a workshops. You will have to explain them the way now we are discussing, right? You will have to take them a classes for each and every step, whatever you did, right? You will have to explain them, and those sessions will be recorded, and that will be for their reference.
శ్రీనివాస్
Because once huh,
చెప్పేది చెప్తా ఉన్నా చెప్పు.
because once go live is done, you will hand over the project to the Reliance, right? And you will not be no longer you will be a part of that project. And then they should have a reference, right? For example, they might be having a lot of teams will be there, a lot of new guys will be joining. So for all those reasons, they will record all these training sessions, everything. That's the reason we are each and this SDD FRD, there will be in-depth checking will happen, because they cannot come back after 1 or 2 years stating that this is a requirement we have told, this is a solution you have when that is not working. It's not like that. Regular discussions will keep on happening. Post go live support also, it will be there for around 1 2 3 years, so it's like that. Because from last 20 years, let us say they are using SAP software, as of suddenly they cannot stop using the SAP, right? That will not have that will not happen. So parallelly they'll be using SAP as well, but slowly in the next 1 2 3 years, slowly they'll dump all the data from SAP to D365. And if they feel yes, Dynamics is working on, if it is not throwing any error, then slowly they'll stop using SAP. Because
Possible,
during
could
this
you please, if possible, could you please expand those acronyms, RSAT, UAT, all this?
sorry, RSAT.
If possible, could you please expand those acronyms? I said RSAT, UAT, SIT, all this.
UAT, wait, let me. UAT is user acceptance testing environment. RSAT, let me tell you. Regression suit automation tool. Even I didn't use this RSAT or anywhere, because uh, uh, UATs and SAT. Let me check. System integration testing. So RSAT, UAT, SIT, and DevOps. Even DevOps also is a testing tool. In case if your client is working for DevOps, you can use that one. Yeah.
శ్రీనివాస్
So,
ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్లీ ఇప్పుడు మనము
కొంచెం గట్టిగా మాట్లాడతాం.
వినిపిస్తుందా?
ఆ,
సో ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్లీ మనము ఎస్డిడి చేస్తాం, సొల్యూషన్ సంథింగ్, ఓకే, సొల్యూషన్ డిజైన్ డాక్యుమెంట్ చేస్తాము. చేసినప్పుడు అంటే ఒక్కొక్క స్టెప్ కి చేసుకుంటామా, లైక్ ఇప్పుడు వెండర్ రికన్సిలేషన్
ప్రతి ఒక్క స్టెప్ ఏ టు జెడ్ అసలు
వెండర్
నావిగేషన్ అంటే
క్రియేషన్,
ఇక్కడ అన్ని
నిన్న మనం చూసాం వెండర్ క్రియేషన్, దాని తర్వాత గ్రూప్ క్రియేషన్, దాని తర్వాత వెండర్ నంబర్ సీక్వెన్స్. సో ఒక్కొక్క దానికి
అన్ని ఏ
స్టెప్
టు జెడ్
వెళ్తామా?
ఖచ్చితంగా. ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఓపి మీ దగ్గర ఉందా? ఎస్ఓపి ఎంత క్లియర్ గా ఉంటది అంటే ఒక లేమన్ చూసాడంటే యూ షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ హౌ టు క్రియేట్ ఎ వెండర్ క్రియేషన్. హీ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ఆస్క్ యూ వాట్ ఇస్ హౌ టు క్రియేట్ ఎ వెండర్. హీ జస్ట్ హ్యావ్ టు ఫాలో దట్ ఎస్డిడి.
ఓకే, సో అట్లా అంటే అకౌంట్స్ ఒక్కొక్కటి ఇప్పుడు దీంట్లో మోడల్స్, ఇన్ని మోడల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, దాంట్లో ఇన్ని ట్యాబ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో అన్ని చేసే వరకు వాళ్ళకి అర్థమవుతుందా?
చేయాలి, వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యే విధంగా మనం రాయాలి ఎస్డిడి అనేది క్లియర్ గా.
ఇంకోటి ఇది రిపిటేటివ్ గా ఉంటుంది కదా, ఒక క్లయింట్ ఇచ్చేసి ఇంకో క్లయింట్ వాడచ్చు కదా, అంటే కస్టమైజ్డ్ డీటెయిల్స్ కాకుండా జనరల్ టెక్స్ట్ అంతా.
ఏ ఉన్నా అదే ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తాను చూడ ఒకసారి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది ఉంది.
ఏ క్లయింట్ కన్నా వెండర్ క్రియేషన్ మనం చెప్పాలంటే ఆ స్టెప్స్ చెప్పాలి కదా. సో అప్పుడు మనం ఆల్రెడీ వేరే క్లయింట్ వాడింది.
ఓకే, ఒకసారి నువ్వు ప్రిపేర్ చేసి డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయంటే నువ్వు, బట్ ఒకసారి నువ్వు ఆఫీస్లోకి ఎంటర్ అయ్యాక వేరే ప్రాజెక్టులు వేరే డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేయలేవు కదా. అది సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వెండర్ క్రియేషన్ ఉంది. ఎస్డిడిలో ఎలా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది తెలుసా? హెడ్డింగ్ రాస్తావు జస్ట్ వెండర్ క్రియేషన్ అని. ఇక్కడికి వెళ్తావు కదా, అకౌంట్స్ పేబుల్ ఉంది, ఆల్ వెండర్స్ ఉందా, ఇది స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీస్తావు.
అదే నార్మల్ ఎస్ఓపి క్రియేట్ చేసినట్టే స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ అట్లా హైలైట్ చేసి
ప్రతి ఒక్క స్టెప్ చేయాలి. ఇలా ఆల్ వెండర్స్కి వెళ్ళాలి, క్లిక్ చేయమని చెప్పాలి. తర్వాత ఆల్ వెండర్స్లో అగైన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు క్లిక్ ఆన్ న్యూ. ఈ స్క్రీన్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. అదే టెస్ట్ కేసులు అయితే ఇలా ప్రతి నావిగేషన్ కూడా రాయాలి. గో టు అకౌంట్స్ పేబుల్, క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఆల్ వెండర్స్, అగైన్ what is the output. If you click on all vendors, you have to mention that yes, user should be able to view option called as a new, and then next step వచ్చేసి click on new. Then what is the output of once you click on new? Again, you will update is stating that user should be able to view the fields which are available to create a new vendor. Again, మళ్ళీ కింద రాస్తావు నేమ్, అగైన్ గ్రూప్, ఇట్లా ప్రతి ఒక్క స్టెప్ రాయాలి. అంటే ఎంత క్లియర్‌గా ఉంటే అంత వాళ్ళకు అర్థమవుతది. On the if they are expecting in depth or as per the practice that you are followed by your company, they'll be having a formats also, right? You can use all those things.
We have shared right one SDT, so it will be same.
Huh?
We have shared one SDT, no SDT for P2P process.
That is for one of the project. It will be similar.
Same.
Now you can open that SDD and if you go through if you review
Yes.
all the SDD, then you will understand whatever we discussed, right? How did they prepare that SDD and what are the steps that they have involved, everything. Yeah. So do you have any doubts here?
No.
Hello? Yeah. So if you are all okay, we can continue today itself. I mean, now itself for next half an hour or 1 hour. Or if you want to, stop the class, we can do that as well.
శ్రీనివాస్ ఆఫీస్లో ఉన్నా శ్రీనివాస్.
అవునా, సరే.